say you lost.
Well, is there an aux input?
Yes! Oh my gosh!
Hit the aux button.
You are lost.
He's arguing it's media.
Digital media.
Instagram media.
No media whatsoever.
Lost Aux Media.
Bruh.
Alright, so I just got done watching the new Kevin Spacey documentary, and I gotta say, folks, I'm not impressed. This guy, he did some bad stuff. I'm not gonna say he didn't do some bad stuff. But a lot of the people in this documentary are like grown-ass men. There was like one of them that was underage at the time it happened. But most of them were like grown men that were in this situation that could have easily avoided it. But I get it. There's the aspect of power. It's Kevin Spacey. Who's going to want to disappoint that guy? Especially with these people in Hollywood, he probably runs into like these actors and stuff that are, you know, what are they going to do? Fuck up their career? They're going to kiss this guy's ass. Literally and figuratively, they're going to do that to get in his good graces. So I could see how anyone in that situation would fall for this kind of thing. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice. Now there's like balls in your mouth and stuff. So watching this documentary, there was a guy, I honestly, the worst thing he did was he like drove around LA with this dude for like 3 hours with cum all over him. It's like literally the worst thing that happened. He like grabbed a couple people's balls and stuff like that. But it was mainly what this guy does a scene with them. They get off camera, turn the corner. All right, cut. Kevin Spacey gives him a little like, you know, what you selling down there? Hot dogs, like, you know, he gives him a little. It's nothing. It's like, all right, that happened. That's sexual harassment. I get it. But you know, that's like something that happens in a locker room. But once again, there's the aspect of power that's involved, and that's what gets it fucked up. Any of these low-level actors, they're gonna want to please this guy. But one of the guys in the documentary is kind of funny. He tells about how he wants to use this as a leverage type situation. He's like, because Kevin Spacey at the time he was all big. He's coming off of The Usual Suspect, American Beauty, all these different movies. He's hot. Winning Oscars for supporting actor, winning Oscar for leading actor. This guy is on top of the world as far as Hollywood is concerned. Excuse me. And the one guy but at the time he has all this fame. He hasn't come out as being like gay or anything. He's been playing the facade of being straight this entire time. He's even gone publicly saying that he is not gay. So one of these dudes actually tries to use that situation as a leverage point. He's like, all right, I'm going to do a couple things for the Spaceman. And hopefully he reads the script. He says, I don't know, something along those lines. So this guy ends up driving around LA with them for a little bit. And he gives them the script. He's, you know, trying to push the script on him. Hey, man, you're going to give it a read? And Kevin's just not even, he doesn't care about that. This guy ends up finishing himself off in the car while driving around and just that's the whole thing. He just drives around with them for like 3 hours, just covered in himself. And that's more or less, that's the worst thing. And once again, SA, it's bad. But these guys, a lot of them could have said no. A lot of them got a situation once, and then they're getting calls from Kevin, hey, you want to come over? Andy, pretend you're Kevin Spacey. Ask me if I would like to come over.
Hey, would you care to come over?
No. That's it. It's done. No. Would I like to come over after the first time? No. No. That it's as easy as that. It's as easy as that. But once again, you gotta admit, the Spaceman, it's a little weird because a couple of these dudes were underage, and we're cracking jokes. SA is a very serious thing. I feel for these dudes. But it's one of the guys in the documentary is a Marine, and he's sitting there about to cry, which is not a big deal. Something like that happens to you, naturally you cry. But he's like going off camera, trying to wipe the tears, and he comes back and sits down. He's like, men are not supposed to do this kind of thing. And that's where the humor comes in. It's like, if you feel that way now, you should have just stopped showing up, man. You should have just stopped showing up. You can avoid the person. You know what I mean? It's like, if it's a person that's not directly in your life, that you have to deal with, you live with them, something along those lines. Obviously, those are horrific situations. But most of these guys were grown men. Could have said a no. But so once he gets caught, he's like the first Me Too to be a famous guy who's getting accused by another guy. And I got to admit, the justice these guys feel in the doc, once these Me Too accusations come out and drop, it's pretty satisfying. It's nice. But the weird thing is, he ends up getting off. Like, I think he gets convicted in one court, they appeal him, and then they find him not guilty of the charges. I don't know the ins and outs of it. I kind of was going in and out at that part of the documentary. But once these Me Too things came out, you got to remember, this was Netflix's golden boy at the time. This was the star of House of Cards. And I wasn't crazy big into it. I seen a couple episodes. It looked like a really good show. People rave about it. Did you watch House of Cards, Andy?
No, I always added it to my list because it looks interesting just seeing the trailer, but I did not. I still have yet to see it, and I still want to see it, but
I think I'm gonna end up getting into it too because it looks like a crazy good show, and I kind of separate the art from the artist when it comes to stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, 100%.
I was just the last episode we watched. Me and my roommate watched Get Him to the Greek and just like talked about that because of the P. Diddy stuff for the Cassandra hotel tape and stuff like that. You know, that movie's still funny as shit to me. Sorry. You know? Sorry, libs. It's still a funny movie. But, so, this was Netflix's golden boy at the time. Untouchable, some might say. On top of the world. This is somebody who, he walks in the door at Netflix, he's asking for anything, they're handing it to him on a platter. Guaranteed your money back. Soon as he gets Me Too, they fire him. It's that bad. They're like House of Cards. House of what? They blow those fucking cards down. They don't even give two fucks. It's over. They can them. Right away.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's one thing, right? But then he starts coming out with these weird videos. He starts posting these videos on YouTube. Now, Andy, I asked you a second ago if you had watched House of Cards. You had said you had seen a couple previews on it. His character in the movie or in the show, it's this guy named Frank, politician, all that for people listening who may not know what House of Cards is. He plays a politician, and the whole show is basically about just all the dirt that happens in Washington and all the stuff that politicians do behind each other's backs and all the skeeving and conniving that they do to get ahead in the game and how they do not have souls. It's practically a documentary. You know what I mean? But he has this southern accent. He's like, yeah, well, now we're going to be president tomorrow now. Like, you know what I mean? He just sounds insane. And after these Me Too things, he gets fired. This guy is posting these videos on YouTube. Give that first one an open, if you will, my man.
I know what you want. Oh, sure, they may have tried to separate us, but what we have is too strong. It's too powerful. I mean, after all, we shared everything, you and I. I told you my deepest, darkest secrets. I showed you exactly what people are capable of. I shocked you with my honesty, but mostly I challenged you and made you think. And you trusted me, even though you knew you shouldn't.
Look, pause it right there real fast. This guy, this is a sociopath. This is the sociopath. But I'll tell you right now, God, is he good. God, is he good at acting. He's so good that I still want him to come back. He's that fucking good. But to be that good, there's a reason he got all these Academy Awards and was so praised in Hollywood despite being a complete monster, because he got outed for this type of behavior. It's not the first time, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure it's been happening behind closed doors forever. But he was so good that Hollywood was willing to set that aside despite it all. But to be that good, you have to be a complete lunatic. Like, this is somebody who cannot hold accountability for themselves at all. Like, coming out with this video right after these Me Too accusations, it just proves one thing. This guy cannot be himself. And this is the type of person we need acting in movies right now. We don't need this Timothée Chalamet bullshit that we got going on nowadays. This kid is in everything. Dune 1, Dune 2, Willy Wonka. Bring back the Spaceman. That's what we need in Hollywood. Let's get out of this one. Listen to the other one. The next video I got is even more insane. Look at this guy.
You didn't really think I was going to miss the opportunity to wish you a Merry Christmas, did you? It's been a pretty good year, and I'm grateful to have my health back. And in light of that, I've made some changes in my life, and I'd like to invite you to join me. As we walk into 2020, I want to cast my vote for more good in this world. Ah, yes, I know what you're thinking. Can he be serious? I'm dead serious. And it's not that hard, trust me. The next time someone does something you don't like, you can go on the attack, but you can also hold your fire and do the unexpected. You can kill them with kindness.
Look at that. Now, what's so no, actually, I paused it too soon. Listen to this music at the end. Look at that. This man is unhinged. He posts that video. He writes, "We kill him with kindness." And then immediately, some of these accusers of his just start dying in wacky ways. Like, Andy, pull up this article. So you look at this. Ari Ben, a former Norwegian royal who accused actor Kevin Spacey of sexual assault in 2017, died by suicide, age 47, just hours after Spacey shared a bizarre video on social media. That was the video we just watched. In 2017, Ben accused Spacey, 64, of groping him under the table at a Nobel Peace Prize concert in Oslo a decade earlier. He was the third Spacey accuser to die in 2019. This is crazy. This is crazy. So this guy is obviously off his nut. And the crazy thing is, now I'm starting to see interviews of him on Twitter where he's like, "Not one person I've ever met in person doesn't like me. Everybody I've met in person likes me. I've never had anything negative said to me in person." I don't know. Maybe everybody's trying to get acting jobs. I don't really know. But I find it a little odd. You know, the documentary, it was a good documentary. Like, this guy's brother was a Rod Stewart impersonator. And his dad was like a Nazi who used to beat the shit out of his brother and apparently touch him. So this guy is deranged. He's never going to hold accountability for any of these actions of his. And the documentary and people getting upset online about these recent interviews, it's not going to change it. Let's bring him back. Forget Timothée Chalamet. We need Kevin Spacey back in the mix. This Hollywood's getting boring. All right? Netflix hasn't had a banger in like over a year. Bring the Spaceman back. All right? This is ridiculous. But getting into other more current events, apparently Kevin Spacey, he's not the only one who's throwing off this type of behavior. Recently, I seen Bobbi Lee apologizing to one George Janko. Now, Andy, have you seen anything about this? I'm sure you're familiar with both of these characters, yeah?
More of Bobbi Lee, but like I've seen George, and he doesn't really catch my attention as much as Bobbi Lee.
Gotcha. So Bobbi Lee, for those who are listening, he is the creator and main host of Tiger Belly, the podcast. He is one of the co-hosts of Bad Friends. He was on Mad TV back in the day when it was on. He's been in various movies. He is an actor. He is a comedian. He's actually a pretty funny guy. But he's known for very lewd comedy. Like, this guy will literally go on stage and just flash his asshole to the audience. Why some people find that funny, I don't know. You know, I'm more of a punchline kind of guy, more of a Shane Gillis guy myself. I don't need to go to a comedy show and see somebody's asshole to have a good time. But that's just me. This square-headed dude that we're going to be talking about is George Janko. And George Janko, he was one of the co-hosts for the Impulsive podcast. That's Logan Paul's podcast. And it was Logan Paul, I think this guy named Mike Malik, and then George Janko. And George was, I think, a later add-on to the show, but he was good friends with all of the guys. He was a pretty integral part of the show. Now, I found this interesting. I found this apology video. Bobbi Lee apologizing to George Janko on his podcast, on George's podcast. George has his own podcast now. So if you can, Andy, let's open this up and check out this apology video real quick.
Oh, way to go.
So George, we'll talk about other things, but I want to open up by saying that I'm sorry. I feel I just want to break down what happened with the Jake Paul podcast.
Got it.
Okay. So I usually do podcasts in my ecosystem, right? So it's like I know the rhythms and I know what I can and can't say, and generally, everything is people are pretty open to. They know who I am, right? But with you guys, I didn't know, so and also it's a huge platform, so I was like super nervous. So I tend to get bullyish and out of survival. Okay.
And you looked at the weak calf. I
Let's
give that a pause real fast. Andy, you and I both know how Bobbi Lee is. These outbursts are not new, right? This is this part of his shtick, which I like. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a fan of Bobby. I like him. And this seems like a sincere apology, right? These two are sitting in George's living room. They got this the pod mic set up. It looks nice. Bobby's being very sincere. He's even looking at the crew. He's like, I'm sorry, guys. I was nervous when I was on your podcast back in the day. I didn't know how to act. Seems very sincere. I can assure you it was not. So we'll keep this one open. Let's go back to the show notes and open this next one. This is the walk-off. This is the incident. This is only part of the incident of why Bobby is now apologizing to George. Now, if you're someone who's just listening at home, you got Logan Paul, you got Mike Malik, you got George Janko. Bobby is sitting in between George and Logan. Bobby is not facing George at all. They're sitting in chairs next to each other. It's not like they're going to be face to face. But in a typical conversation, people would generally be facing like the same center point, right? Everybody would be trying to have a normal conversation so that they can kind of at least see each other somewhat. Bobby's not doing any of that. Bobby completely has his back turned to George as if George is some piece of shit that is not even worth his time. Why is George even here? Is probably what's going through his mind. So let's watch this. This is the second half of the incident, which I find funny that this is what they left in the clip.
He is clocked out.
Yeah, I know.
George has been under a tremendous amount of abuse.
No,
No, stop, George. I want you over here with me. George, I want you over here with me. Chase him down. Go. You find him. George, no, go get him. Go get him. I said he walked, and that's a first. And now we're gonna have to deal with the fallout of this episode for the
Logan,
next 2 months. I swear to God, Bobbi Lee, you pissed off my co-host. He's probably crying in the driveway.
You know, the Beatles could have lost Ringo.
Oh yeah.
Now,
oh man.
Here we go.
Shout out to the mic.
Right there, you can see this is a person who doesn't give a shit. And I like Bobby. But he does not give a shit that George just left. And the Ringo joke, I gotta admit, that's funny as hell. That's hilarious. The Beatles really could have lost Ringo. Ringo wasn't even the best drummer in the Beatles. So this joke, it sticks, it lands. Little does Bobby know, George is actually somebody who holds a little more influence than he had anticipated. But we'll get to that a little bit later. That's the whole reason that Bobby's even apologizing to him. Because now George is somebody who can hold his own in the podcast space. So this incident, this is the walk-off. You can play a little bit more. Look at Logan
if Ringo
and this guy are friends with him.
Let's shoot fucking Abbey Road. Record Abbey Road.
We just shot a new profile picture.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying is that
we need him.
That attitude right there was just unprofessional.
It was a bit unprofessional.
It was unprofessional.
Yeah, it was.
Listen, I'm a guest, right? I feel hurt and abandoned.
I know.
I feel rejected.
Me too.
And this was fucked up, bro.
All right.
So if he doesn't come, because I got.
This is that to me. That doesn't seem like somebody who's nervous. Just seems like somebody who's kicking somebody while they're down. And the fact that Logan and Mike are just acting like this. Like, Andy, I'll bring it back to you. If this was us, I'd be having a fucking big problem with the goddamn guest. I don't give a shit who you are.
100% true.
Like, you can't just come onto my show and just fucking pick apart my dudes like that. Like, that's fucking crazy. That's insane talk. And then the fact that he walks off and I get it. You want to try to make it interesting and podcast, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, should we expect anything less of Logan? This is like the same guy who's posting his beefs with his brother online and shit like that. It's like, come the fuck on, dude. They're like literally getting into arguments on episodes of this podcast. Shit that should never be aired out. Logan's like, post it. Full send it. Like, this guy's fucking out of his mind. I'll admit he's a hell of a wrestler. Other than that, he's fucking retarded. So let's go back to the show notes. I want to show you that I thought it was funny that they in that one clip they left out probably the most important part of this walk-off, because if you watch that, it really does seem like, I get it, they're talking shit and everything, but if you would just watch that clip and took no other context in any other form, tried to just go off of that clip alone, it does look like George is being unprofessional. He just walks off. He doesn't say anything. He looks very perturbed. And once we dive into this clip, you'll understand why. Bobbi Lee shows a little bit of that Kevin Spacey charisma in this one.
But I spray the on my.
Why?
Maybe, Mike, you want to smell?
I would.
No, you are. No, you are.
No question.
I'm not gonna pull it out. I'm gonna just do the underwear.
Question.
It would be him. It would be George.
Yeah, George.
It would.
Yeah. Just smell.
No. You can't spray your with cologne.
Why?
Because if you end up getting oral, they're gonna taste the cologne. You got to go under to the gooch, and everyone knows that.
He's got an answer.
No, I have an answer to that.
The side.
I'm not gonna lie, he's got a point.
Yeah, right. Like
side gooch.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
but it can't be too heavy either.
I'm not gonna lie, he's got a point.
But what you guys don't get is that there's no girl in the horizon, right? So I spray it first.
It's like biblical what you just said.
Well, it is, right? Yeah. Very good.
Like prophecy.
Yeah, prophecy, right? There's no girl in the horizon.
There's no girl
right?
on the horizon.
But I spray it just in case. Like if I'm walking down Melrose, right? And then what I would do is this. I would go to the bathroom. I would take tissue, and I would wipe the head and the stem of my penis. It's not a lot.
Is that why you use the word stem?
Yes. Yeah. Why?
Like a mushroom.
It's like a little. It's like a mushroom.
Like the beginning of a plant, like a fledgling.
What cologne? Like what?
Well, that's why I want him to smell.
Or maybe he'll know this.
Here we go.
So So don't worry about it, guys. I'm not gonna show my dick.
Smell his dick.
Oh shit, his ass is out.
Look at the tattoo.
All the money and
got a tattoo.
you're using fruit.
I feel like you got that in prison.
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
Dude, I just got the biggest boner for some reason.
Smell this part. Smell this part. No, smell. You got to smell
I
it.
just waft it, bro.
Dude,
Just waft
dude, this is not gay. It's podcasting. It's for entertainment.
It's material.
And in improv, you never disagree.
Okay.
You always agree.
yes and.
Because
Yes
and you ruin the fucking moment if you don't do it. So you're gonna fucking smell my dick, and it's not gay.
It's material, George.
Yeah. So here. Yeah. I have to grab your head.
No.
It smelled good. It smelled good.
No, smell it.
He's right. It smells like.
Does it really?
Like
Does
what?
it really?
Like,
It smelled like he sprayed it like 2 days ago.
but describe the scent.
This is fucking all right. It took a little longer to get to the goddamn point than I would have liked, but this is that right there. You can see George is like even being a good sport about the whole thing. So where did it take this turn? It probably took a turn when Bobbi kept egging this fucking dude on. Like, right there, you're losing me, my man. With the whole balls in the face, like, I'm all for comedy, but come on, let's be real here. It's fucking gay as shit, dude. It's not gay. It's not gay, Bobbi. It's not gay. It's not gay. And then he goes, pulls out his balls. Come on, dude. I mean, I get it. That's Bobbi Lee's thing. That's his thing. But then we get to this apology, right? So let's check out this other one. The apology now comes from the fact that we can go back to the show notes. So the apology is now stemming from the fact that after the initial walk-off, which happened after that incident we just watched, after the walk-off, George just left the show, which rightfully so. If I was on a show as a co-host and I would have watched that clip back of how they acted when I had left off of all that bullshit that I had put up with prior to try to make the show entertaining for the co-host, I would have fucking quit too. Now we get to George Janko having his own podcast. It's big. It's big as shit. Do I like watching it? No. It's a little bit it's a little cucky to me. You know, he's very big on like Christ and blah blah, which is fine. You have your religion. I don't knock on that, you know. I don't necessarily believe in God, but I believe in some sort of spiritual something. I'm sure it's out there and we'll find it eventually. But he's very big into Christ, and he kind of has that trad wives and this Andrew Tate type vibe of how like he's not necessarily a sexist, but he kind of just falls along the lines of very conservative, which once again, that's not a problem either. Live your life. It's just not the kind of stuff I necessarily like to listen to. But these interviews that he ends up pulling, they get big numbers. So now he's somebody who doesn't need Impulsive. He doesn't need Bobbi Lee. He doesn't need any of that shit. And he goes on to explain this to Mike in this clip right here and basically tells him the whole thing. Let's give that one a click.
I never had a problem with Bobbi Lee.
No, he knows
I
that.
had a problem with the way that Logan and you were kind of gassing him to keep doing. He started the episode putting his balls in my face. I let that one go. Then every 2 seconds, he kept grabbing my dick.
I don't think...
How would you feel if a man that has his back completely towards you, that only turns around to grab your dick,
right,
talk shit to your face, and you can't smack or beat the living breaks off of this guy? Because Logan makes me apologize to this man, or I don't have a job on Impulsive anymore. How fucking crazy is that? I said, Mike, this is all that happens, and you said, verbatim, you said, it's our fault for not telling you this, but me and Logan are really the ones who should be talking to the guests. You are really there for a boys only episode. So while I get sexually harassed, my other co-host is trying to fire me, and you're trying to leverage me to be quiet during other guests. I never had a problem.
That's it right there, which I'm not going to lie. There's very, very solid points from Mr. Janko there. May his head be square, there are some brains inside of it. And he makes a lot of sense. So now he ends up leaving the bitch and Bobby's apologizing. Now, we can X out of all of these and then go, except for the apology one. Let's keep that one open. George hits Bobby with this zinger. It's fucking biblical. It's biblical, mate. Let's play this one real fast.
No, I get it, dude. I get it, dude. I would do the same thing if I saw him. No, you can't eat him.
Okay.
Stop.
Right?
So anyway,
Right
I can get a taste.
Fucking classic. I love that. That's as good of revenge as I can possibly get. These are all classic podcast moments. And big ups to George and his success. And Bobbi Lee, I still listen to Bad Friends. This is not going to deter me from his the entertainment that he brings to me when I decide to partake in it. You know, he has a little bit of that Spaceman activity, that Kevin Spacey-esque activity. You saw that still, right, Andy? He's like grabbing his dick. He's giving him, you got some sausages back there, my man? Fucking, you know, I don't hate, but these are classic podcast moments. And we can X out of this one. I want to go into this other one. I want to hop into this little bit of a delusional celebrities kind of thing that we got going on here. If you look, these podcast moments, may they be classic. One of the biggest things that makes them classic to people like me is the fact that not every single one of these encounters are as balanced with logic as George's was. You know, George had a good reason for acting the way he did. But some of these podcast moments are just filled with such delusion that you just can't help but laugh about it. And Steve-O's Wild Ride had a pretty goddamn funny clip that I just wanted to watch real fast. This is a funny one.
Good point.
I'm dying to get a serious answer.
It's a comedy show.
I don't care about it. I've got a serious question. I just want to know what it is. What's Zionism?
It's that's so funny.
This
might be a pinnacle in my life. Is Steve-O asking me what Zion is?
I want to know what it is.
This might be a moment of my life.
I've heard Bob Marley sing about it. Right?
No, that's Zion.
Zion. Like, what's Zionism? What is it?
So you have the Babylonian Triangle, right? Okay. You have Jamaica, you have England, and then you have Zion, Ethiopia, where praise him Haile Selassie lives.
Jesus, dude, that is so fucking hilarious. Now, that clip is short, and it sounds like there's not much to it. But the fact that Steve-O is now a comedian, for those that don't know. He did Jackass, everybody knows that. But now he makes his living from his podcast, Steve-O's Wild Ride, where he interviews people in his van. It's actually not a bad show. It's pretty entertaining. And he also does stand-up comedy. He's making a good amount of money doing stand-up tours almost every year. And the fact that he wants to ask such a serious question, that's humorous within itself. The context of the question is humorous within itself. But anyone who knows the man that he's asking it to is what makes this whole encounter such fucking gold. The man that's being interviewed is named Adam Friedland. Adam Friedland is also a comedian / podcaster. He has a podcast called the Adam Friedland Show Podcast. Everyone who goes on his shows end up getting completely frustrated with him. If you know anything about Oliver Tree, he's a very Oliver Tree-esque type guy, except for the fact that he actually has a brain. Oliver Tree may be funny at times, but he's a fucking idiot. So the fact that Steve-O is coming at Adam Friedland, who is never going to answer a serious question, no matter what podcast he's on, what Zionism is just fucking hilarious. And if you go back to the video, you can see Adam is like, dude, you cannot be serious about this. Go to that a couple seconds into it.
I'm dying to get a serious answer.
It's a comedy show.
I don't care about it. I've got a serious question. I just want to know what it is. What's Zionism?
It's that's so funny.
Right there. You can see it. Adam is just like, you cannot be serious asking me this goddamn question right now. And And I'll tell you, I can't speak for Adam, but more than likely, he's thinking to himself, this guy knows how I operate. I know how I operate. The fact that he's even asking me this question is asinine, and he knows that he's not going to answer it in a serious way. But here's where it takes a little bit of a left turn in the funny department. Steve-O's asking him about Zionism, which is, I guess it's a term that is some form of extremist Judaism, as far as I know. I'm not too involved in that, but it's obvious that Steve-O's trying to pull like some sort of weird political card on the whole Palestine-Israel conflict, which is stupid as fuck. But he starts off with that. What is Zionism? Right? But then he goes on to say, Zionism, everyone's talking about it. Bob Marley sang about it. But Bob Marley is not singing about Zionism. Bob Marley is singing about Zion, which is it's associated with the Rastafarian religion. And Adam immediately picks up on this and is like, all right, I'll answer it. You want me to answer it serious? I will seriously explain to you what Zion is. And that's where we get the rest of this clip. Let's play that. This is classic.
Pinnacle of my life is Steve-O asking me what Zion is.
I want to know what it is.
This might be a moment of my life.
I've heard Bob Marley sing about it. Right?
No, that's Zion.
Zion. Like, what's Zionism?
Zion.
What
okay.
is it?
So you have the Babylonian triangle, right? Okay. You have Jamaica, you have England, and then you have Zion, Ethiopia. Where, praise him, Haile Selassie.
That is fucking classic right there. Dude, that's just insane to me. That Steve-O would go so far out of his way to be like, what is Zionism? Imagine getting asked something like that with that voice being attached to the fucking question.
He's like, hey man, I got a serious question for you. What's the Emancipation Proclamation?
You're like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like, and this interview was it the whole time, which I thought was fucking hilarious. And that's just one instance of this celebrity delusion, these delusion that these rich people share. And now you got this billionaire from like Ohio, I think it is, or some shit like that, who wants to practically do an Ocean Gate round 2. Like, we all know how Ocean Gate ended up. This guy, the guy who was the CEO and founder of the Ocean Gate submersible, was getting warnings left and right from every single official in that space telling him, you go down there, it's not going to end up well. This was a submarine that was controlled by a goddamn PlayStation controller. Of course, it's going to implode when it gets fucking deep enough. The fact that it even got anywhere near, because it did make it down to the depth of where the Titanic sank, but they did not get to see the Titanic that one time. So it did get all the way down there before its last fatal conquest. And now some billionaire from Ohio is like, damn, that shit looked fucking dope. I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to give it a shot, ladies and gentlemen. Let's scroll down a little bit, my man, Andy. Let's check out what this guy looks like. Let's go down a little bit more. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Larry Connor. This guy looks like he had a stroke. Anybody who's associated with this guy in any way should be like, are you sure you want to do this? Because the left side of your face looks like it has not been awake for the last 72 hours at least. You seriously look like the left side of your body is shutting down. So maybe this might not be a good decision. Look, this guy, his name is Larry Connor. He hails from Ohio. He is a businessman. And he's also a private astronaut certified by NASA. Whatever the hell that means. Private astronaut. What? Private astronaut. People just slap shit on anything. That's probably like some honorary title that he got for donating some money to the department. It's like when someone gets an honorary degree from Harvard. doesn't make them a real. They can't just go into an operating room and be like, I got this, slapping gloves and shit. Highly doubt this man is qualified to actually make a voyage into space, but he wants to now go underwater. He has named his boat, or the submarine. Let's go up. I think right above the picture is the name of the submarine. Listen to this. This thing is named like the craziest thing. It's named the Triton 4002 Abyssal Explorer. And the 4,000, I guess, refers to like the 4,000 meters that the Titanic is sank at, or something like that. And it's just asinine stuff. It's delusional that anyone would want to try to make a second trip to go see this thing. It's crazy to me. And I don't know, maybe he's got some ironclad submarine, but I see, like, I would not want to go 100 meters underwater in a submarine like this after the first incident of the Ocean Gate. Like, has anyone, if you've seen any of the videos, that the people that did these like 3D renderings of like what the implosion would actually be like, it's crazy. These implosions, when they happen like that, they happen at such a rate that your brain can't even comprehend the pain that your body would be going through before you actually die. They happen so fast that the temperature of the inside of the submarine literally reaches the temperature of the surface of the sun for a millisecond during that implosion. That's how many particles and matter, that's how fast all of that shit is moving. So even though the submarine is submerged in ice cold water for just a millisecond, you might as well have an exploding sun meters and meters underneath the surface of it. So the fact that anyone would want to do this is crazy to me. We can get out of this one. I kind of want to actually take a look at this video of Bam's wedding. Bam Margera, who is I'll admit, he was a little bit of a childhood hero of mine at one point in my life. I grew up a skateboarder. I grew up a little bit of a jackass connoisseur, as some may call. I was completely immersed in the jackass culture growing up. I was tossing myself in shopping carts. I was doing the whole nine. And now Bam Margera is getting married again. Let's take a look at this.
As you place this ring on Danielle's finger,
Your European one, remember?
please recite your vows.
So, exactly 1 year ago, I was checking into the Sunset Marquee in Los Angeles to check out. I've bought enough drugs to not want to wake up. And I said, God, if I do wake up, F you, but you better deliver me the hottest eye candy with 8 cup tits and a tan pit bull. So I woke up and I'm like, Jesus, tap dancing Christ, I'm alive. Thinking this would take a week or more, I go out by the pool, order a Bloody Mary, only to overhear somebody say, listen, I'm Sicilian and Irish, I'm 43, born in Jersey, and I don't have time for this. I gotta go walk my tan pit bull. And I said, who are you? She says, I'm a supermodel and stretch coach. Stretch coach? Tan pit bull, 8 cup tits. Thank you, God. Earth angel, let's go.
Yes.
I love you. And I will love you forever, and I'll take care of you. You got rid of all the dickheads and goons and made me stop drinking and got me back to skateboarding, and I cannot thank you enough.
Oh man, you can pause it right there. This is a heartwarming moment.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet.
You think so?
No.
Yeah, the whole time I was just like, this is wild. There was a video I saw not long ago that was going viral. It was this wedding, and the bride was walking down the aisle to the groom, and it was that song that was like, you're crazy, bitch, but you fuck so good, I'm on top of it. And she's like, just fucking grinding and shit the whole time, walking down the thing. It was like the most white trash wedding you've ever seen. That's what those vows reminded me of. You could have went a million different directions with that. That was funny, man. I mean, we all deserve happiness and love, ladies and gentlemen. I get it. And I'm not saying that this wedding is necessarily a bad thing. If she really got him to stop drinking and got him to start skateboarding and stuff again, that's That's a powerful chick, and Bam needs that. But come on, you could have been a little nicer. He's like, oh, I got a little sweet piece of ass. I'm gonna get in the hotel room. I'm gonna fuck her in the ass so bad. He's like creeping up the bed while she's sleeping. He's like, my girlfriend's sleeping in the bed right now so bad. I'm gonna smack her in the face so bad. Like, Bam's such a fucking cuck, dude. He's funny as shit, though. I hope he gets, like, back into skateboarding to the fullest, because he was such a good skateboarder when he was at his prime. Then all that, the jackass and all that fame and stuff kind of, it's sad to see them, like, step off the skateboard over that shit, you know? Because he was...
What
were you saying?
Oh, no. I was just saying, like, this commenter kind of read my mind because as I was listening and watching the video, this commenter specifically says, "Guess we all really do eventually turn into our fathers." And the whole time, as I was looking at him from the back, I'm like, he looks just like his dad now.
He looks like Phil. That's his dad's name, Phil Margera.
Yeah.
Hey, don't feed Phil, man. You remember that episode of Viva La Bam? Don't feed Phil. He had like signs posted up everywhere. Dude, he had the airplane fucking ad. It said "Don't feed Phil" on it. all scripted, you know, for reality TV. But that shit was when I was watching that growing up, I was like 13. I thought it was totally real. I was like, oh my God, that's so funny. Nobody will feed this guy. Little do you know, in reality, they're like, cut. All right, get the craft service table ready. We're going to get ready to shoot at a different location. You know what I mean? Let's all take lunch. We'll shoot at the next place. It's kind of how these things go down. But I'm happy for him, man. Like I said, if she really got him back on the board and off the booze, that's a powerful chick. I don't even know this woman's name. I never even heard of her. But apparently she's got sweet A cups in a fucking Ted Pitbull. Oh, yeah. That's so funny, dude. Doing all that, I just drooled on myself trying to do a Bam impression. So bad. So let's check this one out. Lady gets busted. Dude, this is wild. This one's wild. Pause that. Yeah, dude. Get this one ready. This is an insane video. So this teacher, I don't know exactly what grade she was teaching. I have to like read up on the article. But the clips in themselves, the two clips I got are fucking hilarious. So she got busted making these clips for online. I don't know if she was like posting them to OnlyFans or what it was, but if you see inside the clip, she's in the classroom that she teaches in. Like, yeah, dude, it's wild. She's going off, dude. So give that a play real fast. Look at this chick popping and locking on this goddamn shit. Bro, your kid's going to school with that?
What?
Bam Margera, get in there and fuck that ass so bad. God.
What the hell?
So she was making like a couple videos like this. Like this one, it cut out short. I had saw a longer one, but we kind of get the gist of it. You see how in this frame, she's like in a different situation. She was like in the bathroom, kind of like showing her tits and bouncing them all around and stuff like that. So she made these videos and is posting them. Like I said, I don't know if they were on like OnlyFans or whatever, but she was posting them online somewhere. And then people started just going off about them, writing about it online. It started obviously posting it everywhere. I ended up seeing it on the Twitter account Libs at TikTok, which that chick is just I don't know. She's like fucking retarded or something, dude. Her account is just so fucking stupid sometimes. Like she points out some pretty funny and interesting stuff like this, but she's one of those accounts that'll post like a video and it's just clearly sexist and overly conservative. And I love me a sexist joke, you know, a little right-wing joke every now and then, but to make it the whole fucking identity of your account is just annoying. This is what the public had to say about this. This public service announcement or whatever. I don't even know who this guy is, but he's got my vote. Whatever public office he's running for, he's got my vote. Listen to what he has to say about this chick in her videos.
Hours stripping down butt naked, bending over, and showing everything on the video, and all you could see was cellulite hanging in pubic hair. This is a disgrace and a shame that this is the type of educator and teacher that is in the classroom. And she made multiple videos. Yes, the district was unaware until we brought this to their attention. But what we're asking you to do now is to go even further. Nullifying her contract is not enough. This woman obviously had lost her damn mind. She needs psychiatric
pause that real fast. Yo, this guy is ruthless, dude. Ruthless. He reminds me of Sheriff Grady Judd, that sheriff from Polk County, Florida, that's always doing those press conferences. He's like, we were going to arrest him, but he's dead now. Like, he just says all sorts of crazy shit. This guy is fucking hilarious. The whole cellulite thing, and the fact that he sounds like he's giving like a Martin Luther King speech. He's like, all you saw was cellulite everywhere. It was a goddamn travesty. Like, he's just so into it, and I fucking love it, dude. I fucking love it. And I want to hear what she lost her goddamn mind. Let's hear what the rest of the shit he has to say. That's funny as fuck.
She pulls out her breasts, and she's juggling them. Look like she about to fall over. Then she bends over and pulls down her panties. Spreads her cheeks. I'm not lying. I'm telling you what's on the video. Spreads her cheeks. This is madness. This woman should be in the classroom on hours.
Yo, that's funny as fuck, dude. That's funny as fuck. These people, man, doing this stupid shit, bro. This stupid shit.
I love how he's like, you can only see this frame, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I love how like he get into detail and he's like, I'm not lying. And he looks to his left. It almost seems like someone's telling him, yo, chill, calm down, stop getting into the details. But he's like, I'm not lying, man. She's bending down, spreading her cheeks. I'm not lying. This is what I saw in the video, man.
Yeah. He's like, may the Lord strike me down right now if I'm lying. I'm telling you what's on the video. It was all there. I swear. It'd be so funny if he started just going that with his cheeks. I swear to God, it was all there. He's like going fucking nuts, dude. I fucking love that. It's funny because the next video we're about to watch, he kind of looks like the dude in the next video. This next one had me fucking dying, dude. People have been memeing the fuck out of this video too. The dumbest driver ever.
My God,
dude, this guy had me dying, dude. Oh my God, he had me dying. Like his face and just his whole demeanor. He's like, what? Like, watch this for those watching at home. This is just, it's too good.
Natalie Tate for Mr. Harris, who should be present via Zoom.
Mr. Harris, are you driving?
Actually, I'm pulling into my doctor's office, actually. So just give me 1 second. I'm parking right now.
His fucking face, dude. His face is priceless the whole time. Doesn't he look like the other guy a little bit?
You stationary?
I'm pulling in right now at this second. Yes, I am.
All right. What are we doing?
Your Honor, we are respectfully requesting an adjournment in this matter, up possibly 2 to 4 weeks if the court would allow.
So maybe I don't understand something. This is a driving while license suspended?
That is correct, Your Honor.
And he was just driving. And he didn't have a license.
Look, it still hasn't registered with him yet.
Is with the charges, Your Honor, yes.
No, I'm looking at his record. He doesn't have a license. He's suspended and he's just driving.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Classic, dude.
I don't even know why he would do that. So defendant's bond is revoked in this matter. Defendant is to turn himself into the Washington County Jail by 6 p.m. today. Failure to turn himself in will result in a bench warrant with no bond.
Now it hits him. It finally hit him. You saw it? He's like, oh, God damn it. Dude, that is classic. Dude, the memes that came out of this were so fucking hilarious. Dude, somebody painted a whole picture. Let's see if it's in the comments. Somebody painted a picture of like the best fucking frame. Look at his face the whole time. You know what he looks like, really? I know I was cracking jokes about the other guy. Who he really looks like is Brian Simpson. You know the comedian Brian Simpson?
No.
Dude, go on Google real fast and pull up comedian Brian Simpson. Dude, he looks exactly like Brian Simpson. And that's, when I first watched the video, I was dying off of that shit, dude. Brian Simpson, dude. He looks just fucking like him. And Brian Simpson wears glasses. Scroll down. You can click at the one where he's with that fine piece of white, that fine white woman right there. Go down to that picture. Look at him with them glasses on. Does that not look like him? Look at him.
Looks just like him.
Him and Taylor Tomlinson.
Yeah.
Taylor Tomlinson, that fine ass little snow bunny. That fine piece of ass, man. He looks just like Brian Simpson. Like when I first saw the video, I almost like tagged Brian Simpson in it. And then I actually like thought to myself, I'm Brian Simpson. Who am I to Brian Simpson? I'm a nobody. Isn't that funny when people do that online? They try to like talk to the celebrity like they're fucking friends with them. Like Joe Rogan will post like a picture of some elk and someone will be like, that's great looking elk, man. Wish I could have some of that, Rogie. You know what I mean? They're like, oh man, I'd be over in a heartbeat if only I was invited. Like it's people are so delusional with that shit. I almost made the mistake of commenting and being like, hey, Brian Simpson, this guy looks like you. You know what I mean? Such a fucking cuck move. But let's keep scrolling down. I want to see if they got the painting of him, dude. Somebody fucking painted a picture of him. It was the funniest shit, dude. Keep going. I thought it was the one that said I'm screaming, dude, because that was the caption when I saw the funny video of it, or the funny painting that somebody did of it, which was hilarious. This video just got posted like a couple days ago, right? It sounded like you had seen it prior to us bringing it up too, right?
Yeah. I mean, my first thoughts, like when I seen it, all I heard was, and like in my head, all I heard was DJ Khaled saying, congratulations, you played yourself.
Yeah.
I'm like, 1000% you did.
Congratulations, you just played yourself. He definitely did. Let's check out some of the other funny videos. I'll put the painting in post-production. I'll put the painting in there, dude. It's funny as fuck looking. This shit, dude. Romanian sports, Romanian MMA. Pause that real fast. Dude, because I don't even want you to see what this is all about beforehand, dude. This is so fucking crazy. Look at this is like a main event type MMA event in Romania. Look at this shit. You cannot make this up.
What the?
Little 2 versus 1, dude. 2 chicks versus 1 bohemian of a fucking man. Look at him, dude. What? He's going all in. We might have to blur this out, dude. We might have to blur that out, dude. That shit is wild. Dude, for those of you only listening, this is an MMA event in Romania. It's 1 man versus 2 women. This guy looks like he has to weigh at least 285 pounds. And he's not the fittest guy out there. He's fat and sluggish, which I'm sure is kind of the edge or whatever that they have in the match. Because the 2 girls are very fit. They don't look like MMA fighters, I'll tell you that. These are not Ronda Rousey type fucking characters in the ring right now. And it's both of these chicks versus this one dude, this one fighter. And when you're first watching it, you kind of think like, oh, this is one of those exhibition type fights. It's like it's a gag, right? It's a joke.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's not going to really haul off on these women like you would expect him to. And boy, if you thought that when you first saw this video, you would be wrong. He hauls the fuck off on these girls, dude. It's insane. It's fucked up to watch, but they know what they're signing up for. It's not like these chicks got blindsided by this. You know what I mean? Let's go back a little bit to the beginning of the slugging. No, not that far. Go to like the middle. Yeah, right about there seems good. Look at this. Look at this. Dude, she's stumped. Dude, she's shook. She's shook. Look at him. You see it? His face at the end. He's like, oh, I just finished with this one. We're going back to you.
Yeah.
He's like, he's about to beat the ever-living shit out of this woman. You can only get that in Romania. You can only get that in Romania. These Eastern European countries, they are the best for this type of shit. Andy, have you ever seen phone booth fighting?
Did you see phone booth as in like where you go to make a phone call?
Yes.
I've never heard of such a thing.
Dude, give that a goog real quick, man. That shit will have you dying. Phone booth fighting is an actual thing. Picture MMA, 1v1, 2 men, but they're legitimately fighting in a goddamn phone booth. That's the fight. Look, go to that YouTube video. We'll just watch like a couple seconds of it. Look at this. Look at this. You cannot make that up. Look at that. There, you can stop.
What?
Is that not insane?
That's crazy.
These Eastern European countries, man, they're goddamn doozy. They're goddamn doozy. I mean, I don't think it gets any more classic than that. But I think that's about it for our time, ain't it?
Yeah.
I mean, shit. Thank you again for joining us on this week's episode of Lost Aux Media, the podcast. Tuning in is always appreciated. Make sure to catch us every Wednesday at 5 a.m. on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere else you listen to your podcast. And the video episodes go up on YouTube at 4 p.m. same day. Until next time, thanks for watching.
Yes! Oh my gosh!
And hold my fart like a bong rip.